Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to be here at SchneidersLaden. Like Tim said, my name is Ólafur, or Ole, from Genki Instruments. We are a small company based in Reykjavik, Iceland. We are the only company in Iceland that are making modulars. So I'm very happy here to be with you today to tell you a bit about what we've developed. And so the backstory of Genki Instruments is that the project started around 5 years ago when I and my co-founder, we were doing electrical engineering at the University of Iceland, and we kind of had a course where we could just kind of do whatever we wanted. So of course we wanted to combine our passion for music with the course that we were taking, which was microelectronics. And we came up with this crazy idea of creating like an instrument that would grow with the performance. So you could have a small piece and then you would patch it on and create a larger instrument. Very similar to what modulars, the Eurorack format is, but we saw it more as a kind of rolly blocks, what rolly blocks later became. And a small part of that was this idea of a motion controller. We realized that that was just more than enough than trying to make this kind of Frankenstein instrument that would do everything for everyone. Just the motion controller was probably, good enough. And we later was almost more than we could handle. But it's here today, so I'm very happy to share this instrument with you. So this is our product. It's called Wave, and it's a ring that you wear on your finger. You can wear it either on your right hand or on your left hand, and it has these different gestures. So you can move your hand vertically like this, horizontally, or you can roll it. Then you can do a vibrato like to the sides, or you can tap on any surface. Of course, I was really interested in modular system, and I saw how amazing this modular community was becoming in 2015. And I realized okay, we have to create a module that gets the core idea of the ring, makes it really easy to patch and work with your existing Eurorack format. So that's why we came up with what later became the Wavefront module. I don't know if you can see this here on the table here. So essentially, the Wavefront module is a Eurorack companion module for Wave. It has these 6 different CV outputs. You have here the tilt, which is the vertical movement. You have the pan, which is the horizontal. Roll, which is rolling your hand. Then you have the vibrato, a tap, and a button click. So you can use it as a gate. It's super simple to connect the Wavefront module to the ring. You just press the ring and it starts blinking here. Move over to Wavefront, click it once, like this, and now it's connected. And if you accidentally disconnect the ring or turn it off by holding the 2 buttons here, when you turn it back on, it's gonna automatically reconnect to the Wavefront. So, which is kind of a nice feature, because you don't want to lose connection, right? You just want it to be connected. So you press here to connect it. Of course, this is a demo effect. So press here to connect, and now it's connected. And then I can start patching and building up my patch. So what I really like is to have the tap functionality, so I can use it to trigger stuff in my modular. Here I'm gonna change it, connect it here to the trigger of the plunk, and go from the plunk to the air reverb. And let's see. Okay, so it's getting signal. Which one was it? This one. All right. So it's pretty it's almost instant, and that is a core competency of having the Eurorack module, is that we can it's connected to the computer. It's going to use Bluetooth, but if it's connected to the module, we built out our own kind of transmission interface, and it means that the latency is around 1 millisecond, so you can barely hear. Yeah. And then I can use it, for example, to modulate. I can patch a continuous movement like the pan to modulate any of the parameters here in the plonk. Like say I want to...
Is it velocity sensitive or only trigger?
Yeah, it is velocity sensitive. Yeah.
So you can make very...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But unfortunately on the Wavefront, we decided to make it rather smaller, so you don't have the velocity CV out on the Wavefront module, but on the computer you get as a node you get the node velocity there.
So you cannot use it with the modular?
No, but this is kind of insider information here. This should definitely not be streamed anywhere or available anywhere, right? It's only for you guys. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, so we're gonna have introduced like so you can actually edit the CVs that you want to send out to the Wavefront, so you can actually get the velocity sensitivity out. But that's gonna come later. Yeah, and we can ship updates through the editor that I will talk about later. Yeah, but okay. So say that we want to, for example, control like we are happy with this. I'm gonna change this sound here. Then I can just patch it to the Y parameter, and then I can use the movements to modulate it. Or something like that. Of course, you can just patch it to your heart's content and create really interesting patches.
So is it only trigger or also distance?
Yes.
It's mixed now. What you do.
Yeah, now it's mixed. Now I've patched the horizontal movement to be controlling this Y parameter, which is what they call here inharmonic, and I'm just changing that by moving my hand like this. But I could also have it set to, for example, the decay of the air reverb. And get really creative with using this kind of movements and triggers combined together. We also to disconnect from, for example, from this module, I just hold this button, and now they're disconnected. And I like to connect here to this module here, which is I just press the button and they're connected again. And I just wanted to show you real quick the other movements with the Platz interface. So let's bring that up a bit. Like I want to change this temper, just patch it here. So, and then what I can do is also within this within the ring, we decided to make it so that you can configure both how large the movement is and the CC output level. By default, it's plus minus 5 volts, but I can scale that on the ring. So there's a built-in attenuator on the ring. So when you know that you want to save space on your modular. Like nobody wants to have like a attenuator extra module, right? So we try to make it more easy to just use the ring to do it because it has a lot of processing power. So.
How does it work? Is it the distance between the module and the ring, or is it all inside the ring?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, no, it's actually all inside the ring. So you set a predetermined 0 position by holding the middle button. And now it's like your 0 position, and then it's always the movements relative to that position.
So if you turn and make the same,
yeah, then like
it will not change.
For example, here, but I will turn around. So. Say that I just, for example, say that I want to make a little bit of a larger movement, like or like a smaller movement, for example, then I could enter what's called edit mode by holding the top button here, and then you enter this edit mode. Then you can set the range of the movement. Like if it were really small or larger, then I just hold the middle button and I trace it out. or the sound, like I just like this sound here, then I can also do that with inside edit mode. And I can hold the middle button here, and then you see these the buttons, the lights flashing here, and that's the. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah. Then you can, you know, change how large the CC level is. Like if you want to have it just the largest, now it's not set that way, or I can. You can hear. That goes all the way up and down. But if I just want this particular range of motion or range of sound, I can just move the cursor here, and now it's just operating within these levels. So you have all these functionality built into the ring when you're performing and using the modular. Like I said, you have these different movements. Now I'm using the horizontal movement. Here's the roll. And here's the vibrato. So moving to the side is affecting the vibrato. I know this might not be the nicest sounds, but at least you get the idea of kind of the functionality that it brings, because it's just a CV signal. You can patch it to whatever you want. So yeah, do you have any questions about the Wavefront module? Yeah?
Can you have 2 rings for one module?
No, there's only 1 ring per module, just for simplicity's sake. But of course you can have another ring, and then you can connect that. And if you have 2 rings that are and you're trying to understand, like, and you have 2 modules and 2 rings, when you move close to the module, the ring that's actually closer to the module will be connected to that one. So I move it here, and then this one is connected, and then I move over here, and this one is connected to the one here.
So you can play theremin with 2 rings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, so this kind of, like, we just wanted to try to make the Wavefront module as simple as possible. Just have, like, the CV signals are continually running, and you can adjust them as you go. Yeah. So are there any more questions about the Wavefront module? Yeah.
So the tap signal, is it a gate or a trick exactly?
It's a trigger.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a trigger.
It's a trigger. Yeah. And you can see.
So it doesn't last as long as you press, of course.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, now it's just a. But if I want to have a gate, I also have the button here on the bottom button,
Yeah.
and I can just hold it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So you actually have both a trick and a gate output.
Exactly. Yeah. One for the tapping and one for the holding the button. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice. You can activate effects or do anything. Yeah. All right. Any more questions about the module? All right, cool. So Wave also ships with a built-in editor. So let me just get this set up. All right. So you can see it here. It's called SoftWave, and it's going to disconnect it here. And to connect Wave here, you just press your connect Wave. Then you connect it. And you can start instantly playing with a built-in sound engine to get an idea of, like, the mappings that you have. For example, something like this. Just have it turn the volume on. And this editor allows you to have, like, presets, and I can move between them by using the buttons on the ring. And it has a built-in sound engine, so you can really, like, start playing with it straight away. You don't have to come up with your own kind of mappings, because we realized that that's most of the time the hardest part, to kind of understand, like, what you want to control and how you want to do it. So we have a bunch of presets here inside. An empty preset looks like this. You can add the function, you can add all the different functions that I mentioned before. the tilt, the pan, and the roll. You can set like the range of the movement here directly. Maybe we could just use this preset for this demonstration. So here I'm using the tamper. You can see here I'm going from 0 to full. But if I drag this slide here, now I'm enlarging the movement. So you can adjust the sensitivity of the movement itself. You can also go here and see how it's being mapped to the output. You can change so this horizontal axis here is controlling is the range of the movement, how large it is, and this vertical here is actually telling you like the output signal that you're controlling. Like it just makes a lot more sense just to show you guys. And then I can move it like this, or make it even much smaller, so you get the full range here. I can change the function that I have. Here I have the roll, and the other different movements are here as well. An empty preset, basically you can host your own plugins here inside this software, or you can do MIDI mapping as well. So you can MIDI map directly from the ring. You have a CC signal here that you can choose, or a pitch bend, and which makes it really easy to map to Ableton or whatever you're using. And then you can really benefit from having all these different presets, because you can like set up a track, and then you can have different gestures, changing different parameters within your song or whatever. So that opens up a whole lot of different possibilities. Yeah, so this is kind of like the basic. There's a lot to explore here with this interface. You can also change the button configuration. Like I mentioned, like you're using, for example, in the Wavefront, you would hold the middle button to center it, but you can completely decide which button does that. Or you can use this really cool feature, which is a moment toggle, and you can have that set to preset on and off, which kind of means that you can freeze sound. Like you can search for sound, and then by holding the button, I can search for a nice sound I like. Like I like this, and then just I release it, and then the sound is frozen, so to say. I can bring it back in. So you can really get creative with this. It's a lot of possibilities. Yeah, I know this is a lot to take in for you guys, but yeah. But do you have any questions regarding any of this, or kind of how you would like to use it, or do you have any ideas for that, or?
What about MPE?
MPE? Yeah, that's a good question. Like we just focused first on just doing the CC signals and getting them like absolutely right. But then maybe in the future we can just add that as a software update.
Because if you just have the tap, I mean, you could have the software catching which note you triggered by tapping, and this note you pitch only this one, and this kind of. Yeah,
for sure. You get really creative with that. Yeah, and like you can see here, for example, like at the velocity sensitivity. It's not the best drum to hear it, but you can see if I tap more, not with a lot of force, you can see like the ring broadening out, so to say, and you can get really nice velocity sensitive drums if you have a nice sample library or VST. Yeah.
And can you play it like as if there's a keyboard? So if you move and make the triggers that change the notes?
Yeah, for sure. We have a built-in demo, which is kind of a little bit gimmicky, but I mean, you get the point. You can move your hand like this. These kind of ideas. So you kind of are quantizing the continuous movement. Yeah.
So you can play it chromatically also, if you want.
If you want to, yeah. You can also use a quantizer,
like play on the table, like playing piano.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Then you would maybe. Yeah, but it's very cool when you kind of have it quantized to a scale, and then you can move around the scale, Yeah, Loop Up did a really cool video of this, showing like how he was using Jazz Me or something like that, a plugin from it's Ableton plugin, and then you can kind of like play scales just by moving your hand. I should have stolen that demo for this, but yeah.
What is the range of communication between the Modular and Wave?
So it's Bluetooth, and we were really thinking about having a receiver for it, but we decided in the end that Bluetooth is kind of just good enough for this scenario. It also means that you don't need that receiver, which is kind of nice because I mean you probably just end up losing it. So yeah.
And with the modular,
Mm-hmm.
how far can you go?
It's like it depends on your surroundings, but we've gotten like good signals up to 10 meters, something like that. Yeah, and the battery lasts for 8 hours maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any further questions or? Happy? Great. All right. So I want to thank again SchneidersLaden for inviting us and Alex 4 for supporting us. And you can get the ring in here in SchneidersLaden or in Alex 4 distributors all over town, all over the world. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.